Good evening, and welcome to the park. As it's Halloween, I thought I'd treat you with a scary game, and this one is from Funcom, they who brought you the MMO, The Secret World. It is based on one of the locations within the game, the theme park. Sadly, not a recreational park, so you're not going to get any swings or slides, but you are going to get some roller coasters and some Ferris wheels and maybe some dodge rooms, who knows. But it is guaranteed to be scary. This is what they have told us, that it is an interactive story, kind of like Gone Home or Dear Esther or Alchemilla, the game that I recently played. So expect jump scares and weird shenanigans. No monsters though, no puzzles. You are effectively just wandering around a very creepy theme park, hunting down your missing son. I have had a little play of it already, and it's alright, it's not bad. So let's check it out, shall we? And let's get scared. The park is a narrative experience best played in a dark room wearing headphones. It deals with the subject matter that may be disturbing to some players. During the course of play, the park may manipulate graphics, audio, control settings and your sanity. This is perfectly normal and should not cause any... the words went too fast. Effectively, prepare to be scared, things are going to be weird, but don't worry, you're not going mental. Which sounds awesome. I did, however, try and play it in a dark room, but you didn't get to see me, so that's not going to happen. Sorry. But I do have the headphones.
In my heart and mind, I always return to Atlantic Island Park.
Where's Mr. Bear?
I haven't seen Mr. Bear, Callum. Stay in the car. I'll go and ask information.
And like all small, annoying brats, he isn't going to stay in the car. If he did actually stay in the car, or, you know, you locked him in, there wouldn't be a game, so... But he just sounds really, I don't know, spoilt, I believe is the word. I do like the graphics, and I am enjoying the music as well, sort of idyllic, quiet, relaxing music. The graphics are effectively the same engine as the MMO.
Attention patrons, the park is now closed. Please make your way to the car park at your earliest convenience. Employees prepare the park for shutdown.
I think most people have actually left for the evening. The car park is looking pretty empty. For those who haven't played The Secret World, you are a hero of sorts. It's effectively set in the real world, but hidden behind a veil is the secret world, hence the title, of strange things going on and monsters like vampires and werewolves. And you've been sent out by the shadowy organisations, the Templar, the Illuminati, and the Dragons, to figure out what's going on and save the day. It is a really cool concept. There's all sort of Cthulhu stuff in there as well. So it really plays on some of the narratives of folklore and everything else and really brings it to sort of a modern day perspective. It's very cool. I'm really impressed with it. So if you haven't played it, definitely worth checking out. Okay, so I can press left mouse button to interact with objects in the world. And the first thing I can interact with is a plaque. Let's examine it.
Callum was born the day this place opened. This is his favorite place in the world.
Aww, that's nice. Atlantic Island Park. A tribute to the untamed heart of Solomon Island and the people who used their talents to bring the dream of Nathaniel Winter to life. May this park be a place where joy and laughter are gathered and used to infect all of those who follow after. Dedicated this 1st of May 1977, James B. Longley. So there we go. happy, warm, positive thoughts that everyone should enjoy this theme park and nothing bad should happen at all.
What?
Okay, mild freak out.
Hey, Lorraine. Lorraine. Don't blame yourself, Lorraine. People lose things all the time. Take a deep breath and think about the last place you saw your son's teddy bear. Hey, stop!
And there he goes.
I think your boy just ran into the park. I'll unlock the gates for you.
Two things. One, how did he know that your son had left his teddy bear behind? And two, why isn't he helping? Sure, a mystery will be explained later on. Okay, press right mouse button to shout to Callum. Shouting provides auto hints on screen. Cool. Can I go in? Let me in. Hey, there we go.
Wait up there for Mommy, Callum!
This way, Mommy.
There he is, going up the escalator. It's Willy Wonka.
Callum, I told you to wait in the car. There's
This
something
way.
special about the entrance to an amusement park. A line drawn between the real world and the world of whimsy within. On this side, the apathy of our everyday lives. And on the other, anything we might dare to dream. It's no wonder Callum ran back inside. I wouldn't want to leave
Attention
either.
employees, the park is now closed. Have a safe journey home.
Maintenance may want to look at that. And welcome to the evil alternate theme park. Or in other words, it's Silent Hill all over again. We've now walked to the alternative land. If there are any giant bunnies running around, I'm out of here.
Oh God. The park. What happened here?
Doesn't it look inviting?
Stop! Callum!
Press shift to toggle running. There he is. Is he going to run off?
You can't catch me.
Yeah, I can. Come here. Whoa. That's a very imposing looking building. Come here, you little...
Callum!
Well, why are we slowing down? He's speeding up. He can run really fast. I guess you can only run for a short amount of time. Whereas he has definitely had his sugar. Can I explore other areas, or do I have to follow him? Carrie Killian is Satan's whore. Good for her. I really don't want to go in there. That looks incredibly uninviting.
Come to Mommy, Callum!
Over here.
Okay, little disconcerting that he has completely run out of sight, yet he can still hear me. Well, that's a friendly figure. And here we are with a map of the theme park. So we have the Tunnel of Tales, the House of Horrors, Octotron, Ferris Wheel, Bumper Cars, Sideshow Alley, and Roller Coaster. That's lots to do. but it looks to me like it's gated off for the time being. No doubt we will be coming back this way later on. I apologise if the screen seems a bit too dark. When I first booted up the game, it gave me the option to set the slider to check the visibility. You know, most horror games have this, where you've got to put the slider down till you can barely see some sort of object. I tend to find though that if you do that, it makes things insanely hard to see. And personally, I have it like a little bit higher up, so you know I can actually see stuff. Otherwise, you sort of end up just bumping into everything, and it doesn't really have the same effect. I guess they just want it like completely pitch black, so when something does go oogie boogie boogie at you, it sort of adds to the jump scare. But you miss some of the awesome textures and buildings, architecture. That's the word I'm looking for. Unfortunately, once you've set that slider, there isn't an option in the settings to change it. And I have a feeling I may have set it a little low. So, like I say, if you're struggling to pick out what's a rock and what's a pathway and what's a building, then my bad and I'm sorry. Hopefully I'll pick up a flashlight later on, maybe. Not sure if it's one of those sort of games though.
Mommy needs to see you, Callum.
Come on this way.
There is, however, an option in the settings that when Callum replies, that there's a visualization on screen to show you which way you actually need to go. Up the ooh. Was that just the wind in the trees? Or was that something far more sinister? One thing that gets me with these games, and Alchemilla did it as well, is you know there are no enemies. But there is stuff that still could potentially kill you. So you are still sort of slightly on edge. Plus the fact that they tell you that there's no enemies, but they could have been lying. Examine the shoe. Okay, I shall examine the shoe.
I think this belongs to Callum.
Well, seeing as you probably dress him in the morning, you should know. Also, what small kid has shoes that doesn't have their name tag in them? Aha, the creepy chipmunk. This is, I guess, the mascot of this game. It's all over the adverts for it. Examine plaque.
Chad the Chipmunk, huh? Just a drunk guy in a suit.
Well, there's optimistic. Chad the Chipmunk welcomes you to Atlantic Island Park. Chad can be seen in daily ice sculpting shows in the following locations: 11 AM, Sideshow Alley; 1 PM, the Octotron; and 3 PM, the park entrance. And someone seems to have graffitied this as well, saying, Chad the Chipmunk, worst in class. Chad can't even seem to pass. Chad gets angry, likes to fight. Chad is beaten every night. Chad will have a dead-end job. Chad will die a useless slob. Cheery. Also, all the images I've seen of Chad the Chipmunk, there's a name, he's had red eyes, so luckily this one doesn't, but he may come alive at some point and start chasing me down, which will be fun. handwritten note.
I wonder what this is.
It's a handwritten note. That's what that is. And it says, purchase the land or on. Okay, I'll start again. It's really difficult handwriting. Purchase the land on Solomon Island for a pittance, I might add. Whatever old Archie Henderson did to the locals, just the mention of his name had people slamming doors and locking shutters from the moment I arrived on the island. My lawyers had arranged everything in advance, but the reactor still had to come and... The reactor, yes, this huge giant power reactor is steamrolled onto the island to sort everything out. But the realtor still had to come and deliver the keys to me personally. He took it upon himself to offer me another warning. I don't know what you're planning to do with this land, Mr. Winter, but the soil here is bitter with a curse carried from the old country. Old man Henderson, he did terrible dark things. The land remembers, sir. Because he's old and decrepit, so that's his voice. Also, terrible dark things. Terrible. I dismissed him shortly afterwards, mostly amused by his pathetic attempts at warning me off. I have a great vision for this place, and the will to see that vision through to the very end. Atlantic Island Park. The name is perfect, and I cannot imagine it being anything else. This is the start of something amazing. Also, terrible dark things. That's going to come back and bite us in the ass. Also, this appears to be the memoirs of the dude who built the park, that just so happens to be lying on a park bench. That's handy and it's good to get some history back, but I just can't help feeling, was he sitting there writing his memoirs and a page accidentally fell out? I am clearly reading too much into it. Aha! Restrooms. Toilets in horror games, where nothing bad ever happens. Okay, just a heads up, I have the ride we're coming to now is the Tunnel of Tales. It's not very exciting. Just a heads up. So if you want to take a loo break, go grab yourself a cup of tea, smoke, not that I condone that, or you know, just take 5 minutes to go do something else, then I don't blame you. However, if you are interested in what happens in this ride, I'm not going to spoil anything, then continue to watch and enjoy it with me as I do it for a second time. And the kid has buggered off on the ride.
Stay where you are! Where are you?
See, you can see the sort of graphical representation there. It shows him where he is. Or where you need to go. So he is now buggered off into the ride. I guess we shall follow him. Ride the swan. Here we go. Yeah, look at the pretty lights on the ceiling of the reflection of the water. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have done a fantastic job of getting a tense atmosphere going.
Near a great forest, there lived a poor woodcutter, his wife and his 2 children. A boy named Hansel and a girl named Gretel. They were very poor and had very little to bite or sup.
Oh, poor them.
What will become of us? The woodcutter asked his wife one night. I tell you what, husband, we will take the children into the thickest part of the forest tomorrow and abandon them there. No, my wife, I cannot do that, said the man. Then we will all 4 starve, you fool. Hansel and Gretel overheard their parents talking, and Gretel began to weep. "Do not fret, Gretel," Hansel said. He crept out of the hut and gathered white stones from the ground to fill his pockets.
The voice acting is almost as good as mine.
The next morning, the woodcutter leads the children into the forest. Before they leave, their mother gives them a slice of bread and warns them that they will get no more food that day. Clever Hansel leaves a trail of white stones behind them as they pass into the woods. When their father leaves them, the children wait a while, then follow the trail back to their parents' house. After receiving a thorough scolding from their parents for getting lost in the woods, the children are sent to bed without any supper. Hansel tried to sneak out and collect more white stones, but found that the door was locked.
Curses.
"Tomorrow I will take them into the woods myself," the wife told the woodcutter.
Because you're rubbish and...
In the morning, their mother gave them a slice of bread and led them deep into the forest once again.
what the hell was that?
Hansel broke his bread into pieces and left a trail of breadcrumbs to lead them safely home. But hungry-eyed birds snatched up the breadcrumbs and his trail was destroyed. Abandoned by their parents and unable to find the trail home, the children wandered in the forest for 3 days. The children stumbled into a clearing with an exceedingly strange house. Its walls were made of gingerbread, and its windows were panes of clear sugar. Hansel, desperately hungry, ran forward and began to nibble on the walls. "Nibble, nibble, little mouse. Who's nibbling at my house?"
Best witch voice
An
ever.
old woman emerged from the house, sniffing the air and peering around with cloudy eyes. "Oh, you dear children, who brought you here? Just come in and stay with me. No harm will come to you." But Hansel and Gretel stayed back, for the old woman reminded them of their cruel mother. "Come, children, don't be afraid. I have something for you." The old woman offered them 2 enormous lollipops. The children took them and began to eat. "You see, nothing to fear here. Come inside," the old woman urged, and the children, still licking their sweets, followed.
Whoa!
Once inside the house, the old woman changed. She stuffed Hansel into a cage and put Gretel to work, sweeping and cleaning her hut.
That's really disconcerting.
"Your brother will make a good mouthful," the old witch told Gretel. "Once he is fattened up, I shall feast upon him."
Nom nom nom.
Time passed, and poor Hansel refused to eat, fearing the day that the witch would eat him. The witch, for her part, grew impatient. "Today I will cook and eat your brother, Gretel. Climb inside and light the oven." But Gretel pretended not to understand. I do not know how. Where is the opening?" "Fool!" the old witch said. "The opening is here." And she moved to show Gretel. Seizing her courage, brave Gretel gave the witch a shove, and the old crone tumbled forward into the oven. Gretel slid a large iron bolt over the door to the oven. Gretel freed her brother Hansel, and together they lit a fire beneath the oven. and though she screamed and begged, the children sat by the oven until her screams had stilled, and the witch was cooked.
Ha! Hurrah!
And then, because even children can't survive on sweets, they divided up the body of the old witch and ate her.
That's actually quite amusing. Not actually in the original story, and I think that's meant to be like shock factor or something, but made me laugh. So there we go. Story time of the, oh my god, that swan's head's turning to look at me. That was amazingly creepy. Oh my god. I like the little knocks and bumps as you went round in that ride. Either they were there to wake you up and make you pay attention, or they were there just to, you know, give you a little jump scare, a minor fright, as it were. But I think my biggest problem with that is that it feels like the moving of the boat and the telling of the story is slightly off timing-wise, because some of the pictures you're still listening to the story and looking at the picture, but you've gone past, and then other ones appear and you haven't quite got to them yet. So it's a little, but you know, it's the first ride of the theme park. It's you know, pretty good. So hopefully better rides to come. We shall see.
Game over. Yeah.